Powered by Riverside FM.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, teachers of all ages, welcome to the Fun Time Super Terrific Happy Hour. Welcome, Jandler.
Welcome, Joseph. That,
I
by the way, the little
almost had a little
intro
bit of a
was
tongue
my
twister right there.
problem.
What? I didn't even say anything.
No, that was me. I was leaving myself out. I didn't have my little panel scrolled correctly, and I did the powered by thing, and I was like, "Hey, where's our intro sound?" I was like, "Oh yeah, it's down here." So
I was trying to do a little
fault.
bit. I was like,
Yeah, turn it over to Cho. He's got this. He's got this.
I can beatbox this. We got this.
All right, hey, real quick, do the.
Here are today's effing holidays.
All right, this
Yeah,
is
today's effing holidays.
I think I scrolled backwards one. Yeah, I scrolled back too far. I was like, oops. Yeah, this is our October 3rd holidays. Some cool holidays, if you ask myself. Today is National Ask a Stupid Question Day. Just so you know. Put your curiosity to the test and ask a stupid question on National Ask a Stupid Question Day. You never know what answers you may find. I swear every time I'm at like a PD training and whoever is giving the presenter is, they're like, hey, ask any question you want. There's never a stupid question. In my head, I want to be like, challenge accepted. You know, like, let's see if we can test that theory. You know,
You should ask like something has nothing to do with anything, and they're like, you're like, you said there's no such thing as a stupid question.
You're like, mic drop, proven. They're like,
You're like,
no, you look like an idiot.
Right. If an electric train is heading north,
yeah, at 50 miles an hour.
Who cares,
and I
right?
step out on the curb. What's my bill rate or whatever? It's also National Drink a Beer Day here on
All right.
Choey and Jandler's the Fun Time Super Terrific Happy Hour. Raise a glass and join the celebration. It's National Drink Beer Day. Grab your favorite brew and cheers to good times with friends. Now that I was going to lead a lot to this episode, this is also the last weekend for trying to find that sound for Oktoberfest. So,
yeah, I didn't realize until just the other day. Like, I was like, crap, this past weekend is there was the San Antonio one.
It was last weekend. Yeah. And I had or like you never told me if you could or could not do it. The dude gave me a thumbs up, and I was like, what does that mean? One of my counselor buddies talked about wanting to do something last weekend with me. Like, he had messaged some of us because I guess he's got 2 young daughters and a wife, and he kind of wanted to do like a guy's thing or whatever. And so like no one ever gave me like good feedback, and I was like, well, maybe next year, because I still would like to go there early, walk around and like the podcasting a little bit, just getting some. I mean, like, obviously we're recording it, but we won't live stream it. But and then there was always the thought, hey, Jandler, I could go by myself, and I'm like, but I can't make funny comments with it. I need Choey there to riff off, When
you could go by yourself. Me. You just look like a weirdo.
Yeah, talking to myself as I walk around.
Sir, how many of you had a drink today? Like, one. It's my first.
I just got here. Like, still, you're cut off. So, roll out to the headlines for the week, sir.
It's time for this week's edition of Choey and Jandler's headlines. Yay! Hooray!
I got quite a few things to say, so you're gonna sit back and you're just gonna listen to it. I'm just kidding. It's full moon week this week. Just so full moon's coming out well, I guess it's coming out next Monday. It's on the 6th, so it'll be a couple days after. So, first headline, I called this kid the MMA Kid, right? I was like, so there's a kid, apparently is an ALE classroom, tall, skinny dude, looks like a 4th or 5th grader, right? But apparently, when the ALE teachers walk with him in the hallway, they have all those, those punching pads or whatever, right? And they have like those sleeves that they're wearing up to their elbows, so if they get bit, like like the bite guards. And this kid's just like, he's just walking barefoot. He looks like he looks like a stick, right? But apparently he could go psycho. And when he goes psycho, it's some of those kids are, they get that what I call, they go red, and they have like this crazy strength because they're just like a raw animal or whatever. But I had to ask, I was like, what's that kid's deal? Because like they make him look crazy when there's like 4 teachers surrounding him, They make him look like
and when they're like padded up, like as if it's like some sort of German Shepherd, like police officer training.
Yeah. They're like, you don't want to stop in our room, is what they said.
I'm just imagining like one of them on the ground, like a teacher on the ground, and the kids all like ripping on the pad, and they're like saying the safe word or whatever, and he's all. You see a teacher running down the hallway, and they're like, "What's going on? What are they running to?" And you're like, and the kids running right behind them, and they're like, "Oh, they're running away." And the kids all like it's so crazy, like werewolf looking thing.
Yeah, half his shirt is torn to shreds. Like,
he's he's like
he's got
somehow
like
galloping like
scratches
on
on
all
his face.
fours.
Yeah. Um, people think we're a-holes now. They're like, he's a kid. It just looks crazy. Like when he walked by, it looked crazy. And the first time I saw him, we were rotating classes, and so they were kind of like clear. They just yelled clear path, right? And so like I didn't know if we were supposed to be like like hold in place. You know what I mean? Where you go to your room, and you lock, and you just stay in the room, and you still teach like normal, but you stay in the room. And we're like, well, dude, that's kind of hard. You got like 60 some kids in the hallway. It's really hard to be like, let's go, let's go, let's go, right? Because they're always like, why? But it's just funny, like the four teachers had him on one side. He was by the wall, and they just walked in between him and our kids. But it was just like, oh my gosh, like I said, it sure looked worse than he probably is. I know he's had some moments, but if you saw him like that, you'd be like, oh my gosh, this guy's a psycho. Who knows?
Yeah, he sounds like it. Like it sounds like some sort of like crazy thing. Like all of a sudden you'd see the teacher hit your window, and you're like, "What's
Yeah,
going on?" They like slide down with like
and they
blood.
slowly, yes, yeah.
The
Um,
kid
on
kid
that
comes up and he's all
uh,
barking and stuff.
on that psycho note, right? So I'm now back to being in a dismissal room, right? And so I don't know if I've explained it before, but there's like this live spreadsheet we pull up, and students have like pickup numbers for their car, and I'm looking at the spreadsheet trying to see, okay, when the number called up, and trying to send them down in time, in a timely manner, right? Well, they just put me in that room. I think they just started the week before. But last week, we had Monday was what I call a half holiday with PD day, and then starting parent teacher conferences with a half day, the second half. So anyway, I get this new kid, really a pre-K kid, not pretty much nonverbal. Um, he knows how to say no though, and basically he just does whatever. Like he's just, I think they told him when they brought him in, like, hey, Mr. Bing, just so you know, this kid bites, he hits, likes to tear stuff off the walls, and I'm just like, okay, that's good to know. And so the first day he's there, like he's like going through, like he went behind my desk and was just like going through stuff and like trying to like put in his pocket, and I had to like wrestle it out of his hands. And he started running around with pencils and scissors, and I was just like, oh my god, he's going through other students' desks, climbing on whatnot. And so in my head, I was just like, oh my gosh. I was like, maybe it's just one day. The next day he did it. The next day he was worse. He was like trying to run the hallways and like crawling under chairs and taking stuff out of students' hands, and like it just. So I told one of one of our instructional coaches at the end of the day is like, hey, I'm gonna have to email somebody, whatever. But since I see you, y'all gotta get me somebody. You're gonna have somebody in that room with me, please, because I can't watch everybody else monitor the numbers that are being called and watch this kid because he's all over the place. So then Thursday, one of the VPs was there, and she kind of like she moved one of my kiddie tables to kind of like box him in, to kind of like almost wall him in a little bit of a corner. And I was like, he just dumped stuff and whatever. And she asked me, she's like, what normally calms him down? And I was like, I have no idea. I was like, supposedly he has an iPad, but he never uses it, right? And so I I get his backpack, I pull it out for him, hand it to him, and he immediately like just chucks it at her. And so next thing you know, like she called, um, and two of the spec ed people came in to kind of help her. Three adults. I don't. And they told me basically, hey, they're like, we got this, because so I could watch everybody else. And then he didn't want to leave when it was time for him to leave, and so somebody else came up like, hey, this number is running late. It's 556. They're like, he's running really late, and I was like, yeah, that's him right there. And they see him throwing a fit with three. I was like, yeah, that's him right there. And I think at some point I just took the other. I think I had about like two other kids left. I was like, hey, let's just walk down. Let's just walk down, and He'll come whenever, right? And then on Friday, about 3 people popped their head in like, "Hey, I was sent to see if you needed help," or and I was like, "Yeah." Apparently, that kid left early, so anyway. That kid is frustrating, and I get probably a lot of it isn't all his fault, but I think back to what one of my friends Cowboy said is a lot of these diagnoses or the diagnosi, however you say it, that is happening. It happens a lot more now, at least because we're aware of it. But I also think people at home just kind of let it go. You know what I mean? Like they don't put him in check, so he's not used to being told no.
Well,
So when
and
you tell him no, he's really getting upset and frustrated.
it's one of those things that you got some people that like back like when our parents were like growing up, kids like that didn't go to school,
Yeah,
and so and this is one of those parts in the society where like we overcorrect instead of like so people got left out of certain things, people got this, and so we overcorrect, and now you get this. Everybody has to have a. I'm not saying everybody doesn't need to have equal rights. Nobody needs to throw their fit. Oh my God, Choey's a douche, but like public school doesn't sound like it's a good idea for the MMA kid and this other kid right here. Like it doesn't. Like
it's like what you should say is and I've heard people say this before is like we treat everyone fair, but not like equal. If that makes sense, it's like we'll give everyone what they need, but not everyone's gonna get the same thing.
oh
If I
yeah,
like we have those kids that are on behavior plans, have like built-in free time rewards if they earn it, right? Or whatever, like written down, or any kind of like accommodations. Like I can give you 100 chart stuff. I won't give it to everybody, right? But because it's
well,
not fair it's
I mean a
fair for some
perfect
kids. It's not fair.
example. Like I was dealing with a student in my new employment and whatnot, and it I finally figured it out like going through all the paperwork and realizing like this kid went to a charter school.
Uh huh.
So charter school like every public school like every public like school charter school public like traditional public ISDs as far as sped goes like you're legally required to give as best you can within your financial means, right?
Yeah.
And I kept trying. I was like, so this kid was on a star alt, like so, like life skills, like low functioning, right? So I'm like, how does this student get to where they're at? Well, I realized, oh, okay, well, because none of the paperwork said life skills except for like the star alt thing, and I'm like, well, there's no way you're on that. And so I finally realized, oh, they were at charter school. Well, the student can't really read. Like she even told me during like the meeting, like she can't read,
Yeah,
and so I'm
I
like,
think you explained this to me too, and you're like, what? Is that the one
yeah,
that
and
you
so I'm
said?
just
Like
like,
they're like I can read a,
yeah,
you
like
know,
A and the, but once you get to like bigger words, it's hard, and it's like. But now apparently, like they want to bring their parents in because the parents are wondering why the child's not doing good in class, and I'm like, well, first off,
that's
that's not my job to explain to you. Second,
that's public school. This is
yeah,
what
it's
was it? Higher
college.
education? Yeah, college is what considered higher education. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, so now I'm gonna have to explain to these parents as long as this student signs off on the right forms. This is as much help as they get. And like those kids like you were talking about, like the MMA kid and the dismissal missile, I think is what you nicknamed it.
That's what I nicknamed it. Yeah.
Once they turn 18 and they're done with your school district or whatever school district they end up graduating from, they're going to go off and it's the real world all of a sudden. They get arrested for something and doing stuff like that. And parents will be like, what? No. It's like, yes, that's how the world works. But the
Well,
laws are stupid.
the good news to that little dude is like he's still like 4, so like there's plenty of time for him to somehow develop, you know, basic understandings of like society
Maybe.
or whatever, right? Uh,
That's the one thing that I think sucks about is if you do have parents that don't want to be the heavy and they make the school the heavy, then all that programming you guys try to put in a 40 hours a week gets undone at night and on the weekend and on those breaks. And so you
I
never
know.
really get.
And then I hear, and I think I've mentioned this before in episodes, and you've chimed in because you've seen the upper parts is like the stuff we do at elementary. When they get to middle school, like the stuff that I'm gonna say we do, but like my schools, because I don't mind helping kids, but I don't like cater to them. Like I'm not just like gonna bend over and just say, oh, you want this? Okay. That's just not how I've never done it like that. And then they get, but so what I'm saying is some people at elementaries will, and then they get middle school, and there's like very little leeway between those middle school people, right? And there's probably even less leeway come high school time. It's
Yeah,
just
because
like,
I mean,
and I like
you don't get to graduate.
in the last school that I was coming from, I remember telling people like, I feel like we're setting these kids up for failure because they're just so used to, oh, so and so's gonna help and take me in and cuddle me or pat me on the back and try and fix this. And it's like, no, that's just our elementary school. That's
Well,
not everybody.
and I can say with certainty now, I know that they're being set up for failure because that same student I was telling you about came to drop off the form that they needed to drop off to allow us to actually talk to their parent.
Yeah.
And the student walks in and just hands it to the lady in the front and starts to walk off. And she's like, oh, "Excuse me, wait, what is this for? Like, what are you doing?" And she was like, "Oh, well, I was told to bring it." She's like, "Okay, like, what's your name?" Like,
Explain
blah
what it
blah.
is or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, like, but they've been trained because everybody does everything for them.
Yeah.
Just go here, do that, and like, this is your part. Bring the paper here. And so it's kind of like the take-home folder that like a lot of elementaries do. Is you got the take-home folder. Well, take this paper to here and be done. And I'm like, I feel bad but I'm like, there's nothing I can legally do to help you because I
Yeah.
can't. Like the law says I'm not supposed to.
I know.
And it's like,
It's one of those frustrating things, you know. It's
well, because
like,
it sucks because I gain gear. I feel like this child's been given from K 12 years of you can do it, you can do it, you can do it, and now it's gonna be like I don't know that you can.
I mean, it's like I said, it's I'm for everybody for helping every student. It's just I think, like you said, is it sometimes like we had this one kid at my last school who was blind, right? My school, no offense, wasn't equipped to help what he needed. He'd get like he'd get like blind support 1 hour a day, and then people were trying to like teach him braille, but he had a lot of behavior issues too because I guess he's frustrated with everything. I think we got money having him in the school because I remember I would ask, I was like, why is this kid here? Because I feel like there's places that are better suited to help him out than we were. And it wasn't because I didn't want to help him. I didn't think we were helping him. You know what I mean?
There are, but it's one of those things. If you can pay the money to send them to like the school, because San Antonio has a school for the blind, but you have to like contract it out. And so like if you can't budget it in the right money,
Yeah. So
you're not legally required to do it. You just provide what you can, and it's like a lot of times it's not good enough.
yeah. But all right, we're gonna end on a good note here of our headlines. Well, it's gonna sound bad, but I think you and I can make it funny because I got some pop culture references here. So I lined up to go to specials on Friday, and one kid was like, "Hey, Mr. Bing." I was like, "What?" He's like, "So and so touched me in the private area." Right? And then apparently like two other boys. So I had three boys that they got touched in the private area. Now, I emailed all my admin and I was like, look, the kid that was accused of doing it is a special needs kid, right?
Yeah,
It's on the autism spectrum, well, ADD and ADHD or whatever's on meds for hyperattention and stuff. And I'm just like, so I told him what happened, and I was like, y'all need to tell me what to do because I know this kid is here, right? He deals with all these programs, so I don't. So they told me to write him up, but I was talking to the principals, right? And so the big thing is I don't know if the kid tapped him in the genital area or if there was definite cuppage. You know what I mean? So
Come on, pal. It's a movie. Tell them what your favorite, how you like the vanilla nut taps.
What?
The vanilla nut taps. Oh!
I don't know if it was that or if it was like this.
Joey's Taylor took advantage of me. What? No way. I've been going to the guy for 12 years.
Hey, oh, come on. You said he was going to do my inseam, then he ran his hand up my leg, and then there was definite...
What?
cupping.
That's how they do pants. First they go up one side, they move it over, then they go up the other side, they move it back, and then they do the rear. What? Ross, will you tell him? Isn't that how Taylor measures pants?
Yes, it is. In prison?
So I was just saying, like I told with the APs. I was like, okay, so I was like, because these kids, and I still have to talk to actually one of the APs who was doing the investigation because I have a conference with the kid that was accused of it tomorrow, their parents. So I'd like to be able to have like some kind of explanation, that I can talk about. But I was just like, yeah, I don't know what happened because these kids, you never know. Like they'll tell me they get hit and it's like a little slight tap, right? They'll tell me they got punched and you find out they got pushed. So I'm not saying it's right either way, but I mean, there's a difference. You know what I mean? Like I was talking to one of my APs, like when I was explaining, it was like there's a difference. I'm not saying it's good, but if you tap someone there compared to like grabbing them, that's a big deal. You know, that's
This
huge.
happened when in PE though?
Right before right before we were going to specials.
Oh,
Like
so like, is there
we
like
were
lining
lined
up?
up. Yeah, we were lining up in lines.
I feel like it'd probably be like a tap. Like there's probably not enough time.
I bet
Just
it was a
saying.
tap. I don't think he like the cojones on that little dude if he just went around just grabbing everybody in the junk, you know. What are you gonna do about? He's like cough for me. He's playing doctor, right?
He's like
I'm
he
checking
wants to be
hernias. I swear.
he wants to be a urologist or whatever doctor it is that deals with the nuts.
You got any headlines, or we already got your
No,
stuff?
no, we kind of talked about it inadvertently with the reading thing.
Since this is the end of the Oktoberfest, right?
Uh,
I have an Oktoberfest updated version, right?
Oh,
We say Prost, gun bay, cheers mate, and cheers mate again, or simply cheers. Sometimes it's auto sente, other times it's cheers a UFN hoser. UFN hoser. We also say Sade, Salut, Saluti, or Tage, Skull, let's all say Nastarovie in the Russian way. In Vietnam we shout out yo, while Oogie Wawa makes South Africa glow. In Portugal it's a solid salt, and Bud Mo, Ukraine's here to stay. Taiwan says Kanpei, drink it down with pride. Then someone slams the table, next round they cried. In Thailand, drink and shout out chom, then back to the bar till the liquor's gone. For Jamaica, it's allowed, yeah man, no matter the place, we drink till dawn. In Israel, they shout Lahim with cheer. Bangladesh says joy, how crazy your beer. Poland sings Nazdrovie, pride. Lithuania says Vaikon worldwide. In India, we say cheer. Or Badai ho, if you're bold. Hungary says Jesse Jedre, don't go too slow. New Caledonia joins in with a la vôtre, let it flow. From Ghana, it's Akbateshi, let the good times roll. And Serbia shout Shivali from the soul. That's how Choey and Jandler cheers around the world. Yodale, 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 yodale. That's how Choey and Jandler cheers around the world.
It's pretty cool though.
it just shows though that like our message is universal, and the
Yeah.
fact that like that actually was like good. I liked it. Like
Yeah.
that guy's like, well, granted it's not a real guy, but I'm like, dang, that guy's popping out those words all quick too. He's like,
You know, he knows it a lot, heck of a lot better than you and I can do it, right? At least for me.
I know. I'd
Maybe
be like,
you can do it.
and
I can.
show you to Dan something about Cheers.
You're like blah 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 blah. Like with Tommy Boy and they sing that song down the drive. I can't remember the song. It's the end of the world as you know it, and they're like, yeah. And then
Oh yeah, right. It's the end of the world.
Hi there, I'm here to help Choey and Jandler to read an advertisement for BuyBlackett.com. Please shop BuyBlackett.com. Are you looking for unique gifts at unbeatable prices? Then look no further. BuyBlackett.com has quality merchandise for everyone on your list, from gifts for cat and dog lovers, to American fans, beer enthusiasts, and even Jesus lovers. As for teachers, we didn't forget about you. Please don't miss our funny attire to brighten up your classroom. So bring a smile to your loved ones' faces and shop BuyBlackett.com today. Tell them Choey and Jandler sent you.
Hi there, Ryan Reynolds here on behalf of my friends Choey and Jandler. You may know me from movies where I either save the world or ruin Thanksgiving. But today, folks, I'm not here to sell you cologne, crypto, or questionable NFTs. I'm actually here to tell you about Fish.audio. This isn't really me talking right now. This is my voice. made by Fish.audio, which frankly is terrifying. It sounds exactly like me, and trust me, I've heard my voice in 87 trailers. This is better. Whether you're a podcaster with a potato microphone, a game developer building an army of space dolphins, or just lonely and want a perfect Morgan Freeman to read your grocery list out loud to you, Fish.audio has you covered. Fish.audio is easily one of the best voice generation platforms I have ever used, which is saying something, because I've done voiceover for a toothpaste brand in 4 languages I don't even speak. And speaking of that, Fish.audio is cross-lingual, which means it supports 13 different languages. Their amazing program also allows you to clone voices. Fish.audio make your voice legendary, or at least make my voice say weird things. I legally can't stop you either way.
All right, so here's an inebriated history
Oh
of
boy, you little dancer.
Oktoberfest. Right, that was you and me.
Hey, we're both boys in there too.
We are.
Toddler
Those are funny
swimming
glasses, right?
pools, cross.
So as always, Choey and Jandler taught you something.
And now it's time for inebriated history. Abbreviated history.
Oktoberfest, the world's biggest beer festival, which ironically starts in September. Only in Germany could the math be September plus beer equals Oktoberfest. So here's how Oktoberfest started. Back in 1810, Crown Prince Ludwig of Bavaria, who later became King Ludwig I, was getting married to Princess Therese of Saxony-Hildburghausen. Big royal wedding. And instead of just doing a fancy dinner like normal people, Ludwig said, let's invite the entire city of Munich and give them free beer. Which, honestly, is the most German thing ever. Forget party favors. He gave everyone pints. That's how you guarantee people actually RSVP. They also had a massive horse race because apparently when you're a king-to-be, you can say, yes, my wedding needs beer and NASCAR, but with horses. The party was such a hit that Munich basically went, yeah, we're doing this every year. And boom, Oktoberfest was born. Basically, it's 2 weeks of people from all over the world pretending to be Bavarian. You put on Lederhosen, which by the way is German for shorts that make you question your thighs. And then you drink beer out of mugs the size of toddler swimming pools. And the beer isn't normal beer. Oh no, it's like rocket fuel with foam. By Stein, number 3, you're fluent in German, whether you actually speak it or not. You're out there like, ein Prosit, ein something, another beer, bitte. The food is legendary too. Giant pretzels the size of steering wheels, sausages longer than your arm, schnitzel everywhere. It's like carbs. Meat and beer formed a union and went on parade. And then there's the music. Every tent has a band, and they all know the same 3 songs. One German folk tune, Sweet Caroline, and whatever pop song people can drunkenly clap to. By the end, you've got Australians, Americans, and actual Bavarians as all linked arm in arm, singing, hey baby, I want to know if you'll be my girl, in accents that don't exist. But here's the best part. Oktoberfest isn't just about beer. It's about Gemütlichkeit, which is a German word meaning, well, coziness, cheer, togetherness, and the ability to hug strangers without it being weird. Of course, the tradition evolved over time. They added giant tents, music and food. The horse racing faded away, probably because horses don't drink beer responsibly. And now, it's the world's biggest beer festival. Millions of people show up every year. It's like Coachella, but with bratwurst instead of glow sticks. So to recap, Oktoberfest started as a royal wedding after-party in 1810 and somehow turned into 2 weeks of global beer Olympics. It's the only festival where you can raise a stein eat a pretzel the size of your head, and say, I'm honoring Bavarian history. So yeah, Oktoberfest, the only festival where you'll eat like a Viking, drink like a frat boy, dance like your dad, and still call it cultural appreciation. Prost.
This inebriated history was, like, made possible with Videogen.
So as always, Choey and Jandler taught you something, just maybe not something you expected, right?
I like how every picture in that video was like some huge freaking thing of beer.
Yeah, the Steins are like, yeah, it was just crazy how they did that, man. You know, that's just
So I know Mrs. Tribbiani will like lose her mind,
right.
but I really think, given like if I start now and push
Yeah.
it, maybe we go to either the downtown Oktoberfest next year or the one up in New Braunfels.
Yeah.
Dressed
Yeah.
like
The
that.
Wurstfest.
Yeah,
like,
would be awesome.
Yeah. We could, yeah. So you like, yeah. You say, hey, I'm taking my son. He loves German culture. He wants to learn, honey. We could, if that's the only way that your wife says we can do it, if we dress like idiots, fine. Because I was just gonna wear
Well,
my pro shirt.
I think honestly, I think the selling point will be lost with the outfits. But I think it's us to wear the outfits.
Yeah, well, you know, I tell you what, if we have to wear the outfits, I want to get like a big fake bushy mustache. You know what I mean? It doesn't match at all. So here's another I found this Oktoberfest related thing. This is a game you can play online that is supposed to simulate stuff you can do at Oktoberfest. Oktoberfest, the official game, coming soon on Meta. Meta, helping people get wasted, right? Just the authenticity is just amazing, right? It's unmatched, it's unrivaled. I like you see these girls here, like little gifs when it loads. I like this one that she's just not even looking on the right. She's just like so out of it. She's like, whatever. I just realized, is that toilet paper that's thrown in the toilet
It
bowl?
looks like it.
Like toilet bowls? Damn. What a game, right?
Doesn't she know COVID exists?
All right, and then last thing I got for Oktoberfest, the little stand-up routine with the help of Fish.audio, okay? We'll see if you approve. It's only a minute and a half.
Prost, everybody. Or as my liver calls it, a cry for help. I love Oktoberfest. It's the only place in the world where you can drink 3 liters of beer before noon and people call you festive instead of an alcoholic. Who here's on their 2nd Stein already? Oh, you're on your 5th Stein? Yeah, you're not clapping tomorrow morning. You're just going to be praying to the bratwurst gods. Life's too short to drink the worst beer unless you're actually drinking with the worst. Then fine, pair it up. But if your beer comes in a plastic bottle, buddy, that's not beer. That's regret with bubbles. Don't worry, be hoppy. Hey, who here is a beer snob? Yeah, you're the guy holding up the line, sniffing your IPA like it's cologne. Meanwhile, I'm over here trying to forget my ex and wash down 3 pretzels the size of car tires. Accordion to the band, it's time to polka. Who here actually knows how to polka? Yeah, you're lying. That's not dancing. That's just drunk cardio while you're holding a sausage. You make me Pilsner in love, or maybe that's just the 5th Stein talking. Who's drunk texted an ex at Oktoberfest? Yeah, nothing says romance like typing you up with mustard on your screen. Worst case scenario? They run out of beer. What would you all do?
Exactly.
I'd riot with pretzels, like just storm the taps with salty carbs and Bavarian rage. Beer today, gone tomorrow? But the hangover? Oh, that sticks around like your uncle at family holidays. Yeah, you know the one, always asking, so when are you getting married, while you're just trying not to puke into the strudel. And listen, I've got 99 problems, but a Bock ain't one, unless it's warm. Who here likes warm beer?
Exactly.
That's not beer, that's soup with a head on it. So tonight, let's drink, let's polka, let's text our exes. We'll call it international relations. Prost, everybody, prost.
Other than the rhythm, you know, good voicing there, but, you know, he obviously you can tell wasn't a real person. Because he just kind of just said his lines, you know, in Ryan Reynolds' voice.
Who's the other person that was in that?
I don't know, some just random thing that they just, because I was trying to have him talk to the audience. So it's just some like random voice. Like, exactly how, like, if you're he's like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Exactly. So.
Oh, okay. I was like, who's that? I'm like,
it was you. It was you, Choey. I cloned
was
you.
Me.
Hey, did I ever show you this for that sketch show, the Snark Network logo?
Want to say you might have sent me the logo. I don't know if it had the whole thing like that though.
Do you like this?
I love it.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people are gonna love it when we start putting out shows, but
I know.
it doesn't matter.
So they're gonna love it. They'll learn to love it. They will learn to love it.
You'll love it. You're gonna love it. You're gonna absolutely love it.
I'm gonna go to the social media plug. Is that cool with you?
That is like, how come you never put the cheat sheet up for me?
I do. You just don't always like. Sometimes I'm just not ready. Like I'm like I need to find it. It's like
I'm
it's
okay.
on. It's on every time. If you look at it, like I'll plan what I'm thinking about talking about, right? Any little links that I have, and then I always end with the social media plug and all these little photos that say, "Hey, we're done. Do not pass go." I like to blink once if you want me to pull the plug, Choey. That's all. All right, so feel free to follow us at Choey and Jan, CHOEY, the letter N, JAN on X and TikTok. On Threads and Instagram, we're at Choey and Jan 2, CHOEY, the letter N, JANTOO. YouTube at Jandler Being 969, or just look up Choey and Jandler. You look up Choey and Jandler, or definitely you look up the Fun Time Super Terrific Happy Hour, you'll clearly find us. And then Facebook's Jandler Being. I gotta keep every time I do like these inebriated histories, I forget to put dude. I think I've said it so many times. Wish we had an intern just to be like, you make sure that this stuff gets posted on socials because I forget half the time. Actually, forget more than half the time, but.
I should make that for one of my night classes. Make one of those people's assignments. Be like, you don't have to turn any assignments. I have a special assignment.
You just have to do this little silly thing. One more thing I'll say before I ask if you have any final thoughts. You don't want to do those 2 Star Wars type digital shorts. Is it possible you could record yourself at home at some point, or do you want me to AI your voices?
No, you send me the stuff. I can record it. Maybe not at home, but at another place.
Yeah, whatever, man. You're on the toilet, in the shower.
I'm Luke. I am your father. What was that? Don't worry about it.
Don't worry, I'll do my own sound effects. But anything you want to add, show, or is it pull the plug time?
I think it's pull the plug time.
All right.
No, I swear to God, Dad, that's not how they measure pants.